Welcome to Sleepy Hollow, New York. I'm Leah.
And I'm Nick, and this is our channel, Sleepy Hollow and Beyond.
In this video, we want to show you how to plan the perfect summer weekend in Sleepy Hollow.
This town is packed with legends and lore, history, great food, and unique shopping, but it does require a good bit of planning to make sure that you can fit it all in one weekend. So we've laid out the perfect schedule to make sure you can fit in all the icons that Sleepy Hollow is known for, plus some awesome hidden gems that locals love for a reason.
So if you're thinking about taking a summer weekend getaway to Sleepy Hollow, let us show you how to do it. Start your Saturday morning off at the TaSH Farmers Market in Patriots Park. This market runs from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and features over 50 vendors specializing in local culture, sustainability, and connection. Along with farm fresh fruits, veggies, and meats, you'll find artisan baked goods, craft spirits and farmhouse cheeses, and handmade crafts and specialty items. There's also live music, chef demonstrations, kids' art projects and activities, and a super fun playground. And don't forget to take a few minutes to stop at the Andres Captors Monument commemorating the capture of Major John Andre by local militiamen in 1780, which helped win the Revolutionary War. Patriots Park is located right on the border of Tarrytown and Sleepy Hollow. There's free parking at the John Paulding School just across Route 9 from the market, and there's a pedestrian path providing easy access to the market entrance. So come by, grab a specialty coffee, juice, or smoothie, and see what the TaSH Farmers Market has to offer.
From Patriots Park, you're going to head over to the Old Dutch Church in Sleepy Hollow. This iconic church from Washington Irving's Legend of Sleepy Hollow is one of the oldest structures in the area. Now, you want to come straight here after you're done at the farmers market because although the church itself is not open often, it is occasionally open on Saturdays from 12 to 2. So you may be able to step inside and explore the very space where George Washington and Washington Irving once stood. Don't leave just yet, because the real treat is exploring the burying ground of the Old Dutch Church, where you'll find the graves of over 40 Revolutionary War veterans, and many names that inspired the characters in the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. This is also the exact spot where the infamous Headless Horseman is said to tether his horse every night among the graves. If you want to go more in depth into the lives of those interred in the cemetery, you can take a self-guided walking tour that we'll leave the link for down below.
Now at this point, you might be tempted to wander into Sleepy Hollow Cemetery since it's right next door, but resist the urge because we're coming back here later on tonight and we promise it will be well worth the wait. So this would be a good time to head over to Main Street and Broadway where you can get some lunch. With so many good food options in the area, the choices are endless, but nothing beats Main Street Sweets for a little treat after lunch. But don't tarry too long because you have a 3:30 date with the good people at Philipsburg Manor. Now this is the first stop on your visit to Sleepy Hollow that you'll need to make a prior reservation for. and we suggest you make that reservation for the last time slot at 3:30 so you're not rushed through lunch. Philipsburg Manor is quite possibly the oldest property in Sleepy Hollow, with their manor house dating back to 1683, which makes it even older than the Old Dutch Church. The staff here dress in period fashion and give you an in-depth look at life in the area during colonial times. You'll explore the mill house, manor house, and barn and get plenty of time to enjoy the scenic grounds before heading back. This tour is about an hour and a half, so plan to be here until about 5 o'clock and leave some time afterward to browse the extensive gift shop stocked with artisan-made goods, jewelry, home decor books, and plenty of headless horseman-inspired gifts to bring home. Tickets for Philipsburg Manor are $18 and you can purchase them at the link below. Don't wait until you get there to buy tickets because certain tours do sell out in advance.
Next up is dinner, and this time we have the perfect spot on Broadway, and that's Horsefeathers. In business since 1981, Horsefeathers has all the vibes you'd expect from a popular Sleepy Hollow haunt. The interior features a vintage wooden bar, cozy booths, and of course, the famous mural depicting celebrated authors, including Washington Irving himself. The charming decor and ambient lighting create a warm and inviting atmosphere, and the food is excellent. Horsefeathers offers a diverse menu of pub fare and an extensive drink selection, but we caution, this is another spot that you want to plan ahead and make a reservation for. It is very popular and can fill up very quickly, especially on a Saturday night. But if you call ahead and make a reservation, you'll be fine. The only time Horsefeathers does not take reservations is during October when things get really wild here in Sleepy Hollow. Since we have to be back over at Sleepy Hollow Cemetery by 8:30, we recommend a reservation no later than 6:30 so you're not rushed through dinner.
Okay, back at Sleepy Hollow Cemetery in time to park and meet your tour guide for the 8:45 guided lantern tour. This tour will have you in the cemetery at a time when no one else is allowed to be there. If you've always wanted to wander a historic cemetery at night with someone who has extensive knowledge of what makes the cemetery so famous, then this is your tour. You'll visit the final resting places of people like William Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, and Washington Irving, as well as take in sculptures and artwork by artists whose work is featured in prestigious art museums around the world. The guided lantern tour at Sleepy Hollow Cemetery also requires reservations, and the tickets at the time of recording are $48. We recommend making reservations in advance and we'll have the link below. This tour is 2 hours long and requires some walking, so bring comfortable shoes. And that wraps up your Saturday in Sleepy Hollow.
Before you head out on Sunday morning, there's lots of great places in town to grab breakfast and coffee, but we recommend the Bakehouse of Tarrytown. This place is chock full of character. It's in the old Tarrytown train station, which was built in 1890. The breakfast sandwiches are made fresh, and there are plenty of breakfast pastries to choose from, all made fresh in-house. Don't believe us? Just look through the large windows in the dining room and watch the bakers work. Make sure you're done around 10 a.m. because our first stop today is a tour of Lyndhurst Mansion at 11 a.m. Lyndhurst is a 67-acre grand estate that was commissioned by William Paulding Jr., who was mayor of New York City from 1824 to 1826. Later, Lyndhurst was inhabited by the infamous Jay Gould and his family. It's a stunning example of Gothic Revival-style architecture and was even used for a filming location for the popular Julian Fellowes series, The Gilded Age. The sprawling grounds are equally as stunning, and you're free to explore them after the guided tour is done. Reservations are required for this tour, and there are 2 different tours you can choose from. The Classic Mansion Tour, which will showcase the first and second floor of the home. It's about an hour long and costs $27.25. However, if you don't live nearby and Sleepy Hollow is not a place that you're able to visit too often, then we recommend the Upstairs Downstairs Tour. You'll get to see everything you do in the classic mansion tour, as well as the tower, basement kitchens, which by the way are amazing, and adjacent laundry building. The tour is $42 per ticket, and you can purchase them at the link down below.
Straight from Lyndhurst, you can take the 5-minute drive over to Washington Irving's Sunnyside. This is the home of America's first internationally recognized author who penned the famous legend that Sleepy Hollow is known for. Being here is like being in a storybook. The picturesque cottage gives you an intimate look at where Irving lived and worked for the last 24 years of his life. It's truly unlike anything you've done in Sleepy Hollow thus far, and is definitely our favorite tour of all the ones we've taken this weekend. We recommend a reservation for the 1:30 time slot for this tour to leave enough time to enjoy all that Lyndhurst has to offer before heading over to Sunnyside. A reservation for Sunnyside costs $18, and as always, you can purchase at the link below. Okay, from here on out, you're free to explore the Tarrytown Sleepy Hollow area at your convenience. Main Street and Broadway boast a ton of thrift stores and antique shops, bookstores, and specialty shops and boutiques. And if you're into the metaphysical, you have to check out our favorite spot, Cozy Coven. Located on Beekman and Lawrence Avenue, Cozy Coven is the place for all your magical needs, including a huge variety of crystals, candles, tarot and oracle decks, books, jewelry, and is home to the cutest rescue pup named Charlie. She even has her own prayer candle available to purchase. The owners, Elise and Mike, are super cool and knowledgeable and ready to answer any questions about the many items in the store. Just a couple of blocks down is the cutest children's bookstore, Sleepy Hollow Bookshop, and if you're feeling peckish, Beekman Ale House is right across the street, serving up some serious bar pies and an extensive selection of craft beers and ciders.
Grab those comfortable shoes again, because the last thing we're going to recommend is a walk. If you're up for a scenic stroll, the historic Sleepy Hollow Lighthouse is your destination. You can get to the lighthouse from the south via the path at scenic Hudson Riverwalk Park. The path is a little over 1.5 miles there and back along the river. Or you can reach the lighthouse from the north via the Kingsland Point Park path. This way is about 1 mile there and back and is also along the river. If wandering around the woods along the Pocantico River is more your speed, then Rockefeller State Park Preserve is perfect. If you're looking for a trail recommendation, the 13 Bridges Loop is great if you're good with a longer hike. It clocks in at nearly 3 miles, but gives you a great feel for the preserve. However, if you're looking for a shorter hike, our favorite is the Spook Rock via Gory Brook and Witches Spring Trail. Once you get to the Witches Trail, keep an eye out for the hut of Huldah the Witch. Huldah is the other legend of Sleepy Hollow, and although the hut is a recreation that is built where her home was believed to be, it's still a very cool sight. Both of these trails can be found on the All Trails app.
And that completes the perfect summer weekend in Sleepy Hollow. We've got more in-depth videos for most of the places we cover in this video, so if you want to check those out, we'll leave the links below, but that wraps it up for this one. If you've been to Sleepy Hollow before, let us know if you think we missed anything in the comments, and if you like this kind of content, please consider liking this video and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.